Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. Get started our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. Everybody check out that welding program and nothing else, just build you a nice fish cleaning table if you learn how to weld. All right, today's going to be a high of 71 and a low, but it's still going to be in the 40, low of 49. And the good news again, though, that water temperature that really went up the last couple of days, just at 69 this morning. So that's a good situation there. Our river readings, we're talking about it being high. It is just staying high. It's right on the, it's just coming in and out of flood stage. Right now, it's 14.2, the Apalachicola of Bluntstown, and we just don't see any relief inside, especially with the rain we got just recently. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville, same situation. Folks, look out how it's shooting up. I mean, it just skyrocketed. It's at 11.1 this morning. It's getting on up there around 15 or 16, probably by in about 2 days. It's going to be up that high. The tide chart, take a look at the tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. You get these tide charts down at C&G Sporting Goods now. We're looking at our today's tide on looking at April the 9th. On a Wednesday, April 9th, we got a low tide at 340 and a high tide at 635 and got a 1 foot range. But we're looking at some neap tides coming up this next couple of days, not a lot of tidal flow. All right, the marine forecast be north-northwest at 10 to 20, same as it was yesterday. It's been a blowing month so far in April. All right, that takes care of our marine weather and what's going to happen today. So let's take our break. We'll be right back with our guest. Hi, welcome back and welcome to Ronnie Groom.
Good morning, buddy.
Hey, Ronnie. We're here wrapping up turkey season. Still got a little bit more time left, but and y'all have had a good year. You sent us a couple of nice pictures.
Yeah, you know, my group, my little family, we had a grandson kill one and a daughter-in-law kill one, but seemed like it's kind of slowed up. We're not hearing them. I don't know whether it's the rain and all this cool weather, you know, or not, but we just decided 2 was enough to take out of the area we hunt in, so we just kind of let up on them. But and I hear that pretty much overall that they're not gobbling much, and you know, there's not a lot of action out there. But there's been some nice birds killed this year.
Yeah, it's been overall, you know, there's been some nice ones killed. Haven't been a whole lot of them from the reports I've gotten. I know you get a lot of reports down there too, but I'm hearing the same thing. At the end, you know, toward the tail end of the season, it's just a really challenge to get one.
It's dropped off, so you got to hunt hard.
Yeah. Okay, so now we sort of wrapping that kind of hunting up, but we got some guns to clean up and all.
Yeah, you know, if I had to make a guess, I'd say at least 50% of the people that are hunters now have come in and they've either put their gun in a gun rack, in the safe, in the closet, and they're going to let it sit there till next year. And that's really not the smart thing to do, because your gun needs a lot of maintenance. So I thought we'd talk about a few ways here to take care of them. You know, a rifle is particularly vulnerable. You know, if you shoot it and shoot it and shoot it and it builds up in lead and copper and brass and stuff like that, you got to get that out of there, or you're going to lose your accuracy. And we have people come in all the time in the store and say, I want to send my gun back. It doesn't shoot straight anymore. And they don't take the time to clean it, and you know, and keep it clean. That bore's got to be clean. And there's a lot of ways to do that. If you got a lot of impurities in the barrel, you can get a cleaner like Hoppy's, and several people make all kind of different cleaners that all you got to do is get a brush and a pad and just run it through there and mop it out and clean it up so that you don't have all that mess in there, and then your gun will shoot good. Of course, when you put your gun up, you gotta clean it, and you gotta oil it good. And if it needs cleaning, they make an item called gun scrubber, and all you do is spray it all in the active parts of your gun. You don't have to take your gun completely apart. Just spray all this in the action, and it will clean it, and it will come out. It will run out, and then though when you get through, you've got to use some kind of good oil to oil it back again, because you've taken all the oil and everything out of there with that gun scrubber. And then you use something like this Remington oil.
That makes a protective coating on it.
Yeah. And another thing, do not put too much oil on your gun. Don't just douse it down with oil. And wipe out all the surplus. And you know, a lot of people will oil them real heavy and then stand them in a closet and that oil will run down in your stock and absorb in your stock. So, you know, wipe out all the excess in a few months. Go ahead and put another light coat on, wipe it off. And black powder guns are particularly vulnerable to rust and all that kind of stuff because that stuff is so corrosive, especially if you have one of the old guns that shoots real black powder.
Yeah.
And, you know, it shoots good, but it is corrosive, and it's so dirty that almost after every shot you have to run a patch down the barrel, or you won't even be able to get the bullet down the barrel. So black powder, and we have special cleaners for black powder. And if you about a month after you clean your black powder gun at the end of the season, I'd go back and give it another easy cleaning, because it's hard to get everything out of that gun when you're shooting that black powder. But the more modern powders are much better, much cleaner burning, and have more power to them. But it's just a matter of taking care of it.
You know, I can remember back when I was a kid. You know, I guess I talk a lot about my dad doing different things, but I can remember watching him the last Saturday night of hunting season. He didn't hunt on Sunday, so the last Saturday night of hunting season, I always remember him. He had a old double barrel, and he had an old clothes hanger that just straightened out, and he put little T-shirts in and put oil. I can still remember him going up and down that gun, both of those gun barrels, really good at the end of the hunting season. I wish I'd had a picture of that now, but he believed in taking care of his guns.
You know, I can remember the same thing.
Really?
I'd use a string and put the string down the barrel and tie a piece of T-shirt or something on it, you know, and put some oil on it and pull it back through. And it doesn't have to be fancy or anything. Just get it clean, and you'll be glad you did.
You take care of it. Of course, that lasted him his lifetime. That gun did.
Right.
And I know I attributed it to, contributed to the growing up in a depression, then being in World War II, and they learned how to take care of guns, and then pouring stuff in the mud and all that. And he was strict about cleaning that gun every year. But you're right, a lot of people don't do it now.
They don't do it. You know, and another thing you don't want to do is don't store your gun in a zip-up case or some small container, because you get condensation in there. We've had people bring them in the store that they had in a zip-up case or something, and it's been in there for a year or two, and it's just a solid mass of rust. And another good thing that you can do is take some good oil. If you've got a zip-up soft case, spray the inside of that case with the oil, and you don't want to leave it in there, but at least when you do have it in there, it's not going to deteriorate. Yeah,
that's a good idea. All right, let's take our break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. See, I'm Ronnie Groom now. We're going to look at a couple of pictures before we get back to some more cleaning our guns and all, taking care of our outdoor equipment. But first king off the pier was taken Tuesday afternoon. Here it is. This is a nice one. This is caught on cigar minnow with light tackle. Ernie Cabot took the picture, and that's Aaron taking it. So that's a good sign right there. All right, now here's Dan Scanlon. That is a good looking. That's a nice one there, isn't it?
That's a good fish.
That's a good fish there, Dan. All right. And moving over here, redfish, Charlie Youngers. He lives down in Cape San Blas. That's a nice big bull red there that he caught and released down there.
You won't find anything fighting harder than that will.
Ain't that the truth? And that cobia, this is the importance of gaffing a cobia off the county pier. Had a good picture there. This is Bill Laminack. Tommy Jones is gaffing it. Bill took the picture, and this is Matt Manderville's second cobia. He's the only one I know who's got two cobia. So we've got and then one more picture, Ryan Shaw with his sheephead on Sunday afternoon out there. So that just gives you a little a taste of what all was going on. We had a king, we had a cobia, we had a redfish, and a sheephead all in the last 3 or 4 days.
You know, those sheephead, people underrate those things. That you don't get a big piece of meat off of that thing, but it's a big white piece of meat, and I used to love to eat sheephead.
Sheephead is good.
And there's a lot of them around there.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to fool cleaning them, but if you get rewarded doing it.
You don't want one to bite you, I tell you that. They have some kind of teeth in their mouth.
I know. But speaking of biting, we were talking about before we came on the air a while ago. These little scorpions, especially a turkey hunter, sometimes sitting out in the woods, sometimes little scorpions will climb up his leg or something, and they'll sting the mess out of you.
You know, one day I remember I had a lock-on stand and the seat folded back, and I got up in it one morning and pulled it out, and there was 6 of them in there.
Ooh!
If I'd have sat down on that thing, that'd have been bad news. But you better watch out for creatures and critters out there.
There's some of the people come in the store talk about some of those scorpions.
Oh yeah. I've been stung by one, and buddy, that thing really hurts.
It's more common than you realize, but they'll pinch you bad.
But you know, we got those brown recluse spiders and black widows and scorpions. You need to watch out for them. You know, it's not a big deal, but just be careful.
Yeah. So here we are talking about, you know, hunting and getting out in the woods, talking about fishing, all these different fish right here. Even when the weather being bad, we've still been able to catch some fish and all.
That's right, regardless.
Just think when the weather gets good.
It's going to be really good, too. I mean, the brim are going to be big, the bass going to be fat, and the salt water is good. It's going to really shape up here.
Have you seen the river this high in a long time?
Never in my life, and I've been here a long time, have I seen the river stay so high, so long.
Yeah.
I got a buddy that's got a camp down there, a little portable trailer, and he's in and out, you know.
I know those folks down there are having trouble with them, you know, moving those campers in and out. But it has stayed up for such a long time.
Yeah. But the fish will be fat.
Well, you know, that's what we're talking about. You know, we're talking about the saltwater fish, but even if bad weather will catch them in freshwater, when this river starts going down, it's going to be some really good fishing.
Yes, sir.
Really
I'm ready.
Me too. All right, let's clean some more guns. Now, what all some other stuff we have? I know it's important we do this.
Okay, one thing, if you clean the gun, have some kind of surface that you can lay your parts and pieces out on so you can keep up with them. You know, you lose a spring or nut. If you got an old gun, you lose a part for it, chances are you won't ever be able to find the part to fix it. And you can get a kit like this and make all kinds of them that you clean your guns with. It's got everything in there you need. You get them for different calibers.
Now, does that have all the parts to it, the rods, and I mean, every little thing you need?
But you got to be careful because they make kits for different guns. You know, one may clean 3 or 4 calibers, but if you got, you know, a 12 gauge, it's not going to be the same as a 243. You got to get the right one for it. And it's really important to have good patches. Now, a lot of people, like we were talking about, we used to use T-shirts and everything.
Yeah.
But each caliber needs a specific patch to clean that gun. If you get one too big, you'll jam it in there and can't get it out. If it's too little, it's not going to clean right.
That takes place of the old T-shirts.
Right. And, you know, if you want to refinish something, they make stuff like True Oil that you can refinish your gun stock with. It does a real good job. Or you can get a bluing kit and blue your gun. It's got everything in it you need. It's got the cleaner and the bluing and everything in there. Also, you can we carry stock cleaning kits that you can redo your stocks with.
You can actually re-blue the gun yourself. I know we used to send them off to do it. So.
Right. Well, this is not a professional job, but it is if the blue it yourself thing. It's a chemical bluing. If you have a really fine gun you want to get re-blued, you would take it to a gunsmith and he would hot blue it.
Man,
this is a cold blue.
Okay, I see. Yeah, and this is a rust remover also. So it can remove
it's got everything in it you need to start from scratch and blue it.
Yeah, this is good. I need to come by and get some of that because I got a little bit of rust on one of my guns. Yeah. And once it gets started,
a real fine steel wool and some light oil. If you rub some surface rust, it'll take it off.
Okay.
And not damage your bluing. This is a handy little gadget here. This is a silicone rag. It's just used, you carry it with you, keep it in a container. It's soaked with silicone oil. And when you come in, if it's been raining or something, wipe your gun down and wipe it with this True Oil. I mean, it's silicone oil, and you'll protect your gun real well. It's a simple little thing, but very handy. And if you're going to store your gun, this right here is rig oil. This is a grease really right here. If you're going to store a gun for a while, you want a little heavier grease, and this does a very good job on it, and it'll take good care of it. One little item right here, if you got a Remington semi-automatic, this is a bore brush that you stick into the chamber. Remingtons have a problem with messing up inside the chamber and tearing up your extractor. So that's just a handy little gadget. Real cheap to save you some money if you keep it clean inside the chamber.
All right, you're always talking about a full service sporting goods store and all. I mean, you can go get some stuff, but you're never going to get ideally exactly what you need or customize what you need until you could go to a place like this and just tell some of you guys down there what they have, and then you're going to point out.
Right, we can help you if you got a question because we have some very experienced shooters and hunters down there. And by the way, we've just extended our size of our store about 400 square feet. We've taken in the upstairs.
I saw where y'all working on it.
Yeah, we got it ready now, and we invite you to come by and look at it. And it gives us a big area to put some stuff out. People can really see it.
Well, what are you going to put upstairs? Oh, yeah.
We're putting tree stands and turkey hunting equipment, stuff that's kind of seasonal. We're putting upstairs.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna have to run down there.
Come on down. We'll show you around.
Video. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with our final segment on Panhandle Outdoors. All right, welcome back. Sitting here with Ronnie Groom from C&G Sporting Goods, one of the great sponsors for Panhandle Outdoors. Always been with us since day one, and we always appreciate that. Let's take a look at our fishing game forecast for today. It's brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty, 832-6000, or 2 times a day this morning, 8:31 to 10:31, and this evening from 8:53 to 10:53. And a lot of times it's hard to get out at night and do those things, but this morning it looks like a good time.
Yes, sir.
Ronnie, we were talking about some people still doing some late season turkey hunting. What some tips can you give them and all if you're going to do something late season? I know weekend or two.
Well, right now when they're not gobbling very good, the best thing I could tell somebody to do is if you got turkey sign, you got some gobbler tracks, or you know you got some turkeys in the area, is get you a good place where they're common to, and be patient. I mean, I'm talking about hours.
Yeah.
Sit there, yelp a little bit every once in a while, and just be patient and be alert. I know one time I was doing that and I dozed off, and I woke up and there was a gobbler out there about 15 yards, and I couldn't even move to get my gun. So patience is the name of the game when it's turkey hunting. Patience and knowing where to go, knowing the terrain you're in, and how to cut turkeys off, get ahead of them.
Well, I didn't get a chance to go this year. I just don't. You sort of got to make plans way ahead of time to go on a turkey hunt. You can't just jump up.
Got to go early.
You can't go on Friday night and say, "Oh, I think I'm going to go turkey hunting in the morning."
You got to get ready. You better have a vest with everything in it, so when you do get a chance to go, you don't get there and not have what you need to hunt with, the right call.
Well, Stan Kirkland and Ken Paramore both limited out on there too. This season.
I hear that Stan went to Central Florida and killed one of those turkeys, Osceola turkey. Then that's great.
And they got a huge one over here in Jackson County. And by the way, Stan's going to be on the show tomorrow, and we're going to talk about maybe get this red snapper, some of this questions and all answered about the red snapper season. Maybe he'll have some of the answers and see what they're going to do about that. But speaking of fishing, we keep saying it's right around the corner.
Yeah, you hit right.
Now, on speckled trout, I talked to Captain Roy Ray the other night. I asked him how his fishing was doing, and he said, Winston, he said, if y'all find them, he said, it better stay in that one area. He said, if you don't keep moving around. He said, if you do find them, stick with them, because he said, it's cold water, runoff water and everything, just had them really moving out of here for a little while.
Let me mention something. I've got a good 14-foot boat with a 5-horse Mercury, a bateau, if somebody's interested, with a good trailer. It's really good, but I bought it and I tried it. It's not large enough for me at my age.
you want more balance?
I want something that's stable. I think I need a 20-foot bateau.
Tommy and Sherry Oliver can tell you a story about that. Sherry fell out of their boat the other day, but she jumped back in. But you can lose your balance real quick.
It's amazing how unstable some boats can be when you get a certain age.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so you got it. You got it down at the store. You got it at home.
I got it over at a place there that's going over it and everything. But if you're interested, give me a call. We'll make you a good deal on it. It's real good shape.
That's a good size right there.
Yeah, it's
really
a good little boat. Easy to launch, easy to pull in, and it's a good little boat.
Well, you know what I like about a boat like that, and then if you fish the river and all, you can get up in those sloughs.
That's right.
As simple as that.
That's right. You can pull it over a log or something. It's really handy.
I've always tried to convince Gail. I always need several boats, and now I'm on. I told her the other night I need 2 river boats. One of the big old fast ones, one of river, but you got to have one of those small ones to get up in the sloughs.
Reminded me of that ad. How many pair of boots do you need and all that?
But seriously, a lot of these big bass boats are really nice and everything. But
you're limited.
You are limited, and I've always been a slough fisherman.
Yeah, me too. Get up into bad places.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day that knew a really good fisherman that caught a lot of fish out of Howard's Creek, but he caught him he just fished deep water. And I've never mastered that deep water fishing, but some people do it.
Yeah, I had a friend that entered a big bass tournament, and he had a little old 14-foot bateau, and he was sort of embarrassed because of all these 250 horsepower motors and all, and he won the tournament.
Yeah,
because the water was low and he could get back into good places, So it's got its advantages.
I laugh. I keep bringing stories up with my dad but that reminded me of talking about guns and all. He went on this was when the automatic shotguns were just coming out. Dad always had a double barrel and went over to Jackson County on a dove shoot. Way back, I was a kid, but he was so proud he came back home. It didn't really have a lot of limits back then. They just shot, really on those dove hunts and all. And he, out of the group of men that shot that field, my dad got more birds than anybody with his double barrel than those guys did with automatic. But I always got a kick out. He was so proud of that day because he outshot a lot of those really good hunters. But I know what it was. He was just taking time because he knew he only had 2 shells. Boom, 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 boom.
One of my boys got an invite to one of these fancy lodges up in Georgia to hunt quail. And everybody had over and unders. Everybody but him. He had an old Browning A5, that kicked so bad, and he outshot everybody up there. The guy had told him, said, "I'm proud of you."
And that goes, we talked about it before. With your fishing equipment or your hunting equipment, the confidence you have in it is so important. You just feel like you're gonna get the bird, or you feel like you're gonna catch something.
You can buy a $10,000 over and under, but that won't improve your shooting ability any. You got to develop the skill to do it.
That's right. All right. I know we're gonna have to start wrapping things up, but like I say, fishing right around the corner, and y'all got all kind of fishing stuff down there too.
Yeah,
right?
we're loaded down. Ray's been really getting in there and getting all the fishing tackle up, and it's going to be time to go. In fact, people are going down the marina now and catching fish. Speaking
of marina, that's one of the best places really to launch a boat. You got a lot of other places, all kind of problems, other places, but that marina, you got good parking out there. And so we'll go right down Harrison Avenue and just stop by C&G.
They're catching Spanish off the marina down there, and
that's what I hear.
Some guy, I understand, caught a big black grouper down there a few months ago, and sheephead down there. So it's an easy place if you don't have access to a lot of places, and that's an easy place to go. But the trick is to kind of go early in the morning before all the boats get in there and run all the fish off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Ronnie, appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Thank you.
We got to go to work.
That's right.
Well, you're going to get off earlier than I am.
I don't know about that.
All right, folks, we appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. Appreciate you supporting our sponsors. You be sure to do something good for somebody today. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.